How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
You know what? In the end, we got a last over finish. We got MS Dhoni walking out. So let's just say it's the closest game of the IPL 2025 so far. But CSK prevail in the El Clasico. They extend that streak that they were stringing together against Mumbai Indians. That's 4 in a row now, and I think 6 out of 9. And MI, for the 12th season running, have lost their opening game of the campaign. We look back at a game that cooked like a slow burner on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for timeout. Matthew Hayden, Varun, Piyush, Chawla, and one of you said it was going to be a close game, didn't you? Your Piyush Chawla is the wizard, he's the oracle. Look, it's fitting you start because as Ravi Shastri said in that last over, that's the most overs of spin ever bowled by MI in the IPL. Santner would have bowled the 14th over.
Well, looking at the stats, and this is first time happened that many overs of spin bowled by MI team. But that was the demand of that particular pitch. And if you see the stats of the spinners, they have bowled well. And that young Chinaman bowled really well, Vignesh. Yep. The way he bowled, he was tossing it up. He was trying to, get the batsman out, beating him in the flight. So I think it was a really good move.
Yeah, left-arm spinner Vignesh Puttur. Very few of us, not many of us would have seen much of him, but what a stage to get your IPL debut, and it's a pretty impressive IPL debut.
For sure, breath of fresh air, just to see a spinner toss it up and give it some air and force the batsman to play a shot and then get out. Piyush obviously a great exponent of that. But yeah, great debut for the youngster, would mean a lot to him. A lot of people will be happy in Kerala today with his performance. That's one of the takeaways from Mumbai from this game, I would say. Yeah,
Rachin Ravindra, it's an innings of responsibility and not necessarily the dasher that we've come to see at different levels of cricket.
Just solid. I think he's been in that place now for a number of months, and tonight was almost that Kohli-like run chase as well. It wasn't an extreme run chase. It didn't require any kind of, on-scale energy. And I was a little bit disappointed, actually, frankly, with the Chennai Super Kings run chase tonight. I thought, whilst Vignesh bowled nicely, I think there was some choices there that Stephen Fleming and his team will be addressing, come this tournament moving forward. They're going to have to get used to chasing on this track. They're going to have to get used to looking ugly and winning. And for mine, a few of those shots, were a little bit senseless.
Wouldn't you say that was a chase under control, though? Would you sense it wasn't?
No, I think it was a chase under control for sure. And maybe it was also throwing caution to the wind as well in terms of having a big win, an early finish and a big win. And that's also quite an acceptable attitude to have. But to mind, just trying to take on boundaries with slog shots on wickets that was a little tricky. I don't think we're on the money.
Could also be a little less respect for the young debutant.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe just like, okay,
trying to dominate him.
Dominate him. First game, let's put him under pressure. Could have been that as well.
Gaikwad got 53 of 26. That would be an extremely above par strike rate. If you compare it to the rest of the innings, can you make sense of it?
Well, but the way he batted beautifully, and you didn't even realize when he reached his 50 that to have like 22 odd balls. Because with him, the best part is he'll never play those risky shots. He'll just play proper cricketing shot, and he's a touch player. He'll just try to time the ball, and we have seen what he is capable of. Because many times he has done that for CSK, that he comes to, like today he didn't come to open the inning, but generally open the inning and bat till through. And he was the one who put CSK in a good position from where the other batters who can take their time and take the chase till the last.
Anyone here surprised that he came at 3? We thought he almost set to open, but they went with Tripathi today.
I think I was surprised because you would definitely want Gaikwad to open. Tripathi batting number 3 is a good place for him because Tripathi, I think, is a better player of spin than fast bowling, especially if the ball's moving around. If you see the way Tripathi sets himself up, he always tries to get the bowler off his game by moving around a lot because he doesn't like the moving ball. I would say Gaikwad opening is a better bet any day.
Yeah, it's the 4th time, I believe, in his pretty now long CSK career he's batting at 3. All 3 times. So last season, I remember he was actually a little short of form and captaincy and whatnot. And I think Rahane was the one who opened last year, if I remember correctly. They just changed it up.
Yeah.
He changed it up, and that was looked at as a selfless thing. But his Is this going to be the plan of action for Gaikwad to be number 3?
Did he sweat? I mean, it's hot in Chennai, but it was just it was an unbelievable innings.
Yeah.
Actually, when you think back to the quality of how he went about and constructed that,
True.
it was just so effortless.
What did this game feel like? It didn't feel like the afternoon game, for sure, with 520 runs. Was that down to the pitch or just two teams that are just sort of getting into the season?
Well, it is a typical Chennai surface which you used to get like 3-4 years back.
I was just
You
gonna
know,
say, yeah.
slow wicket where you don't expect 180, 190. Like 155, 170, 175 would have been a good score on this wicket. So teams will realize, will come here because first game you are not expecting that what will be the good average score here, because last couple of season it has been 190, 200 run wicket.
Yeah.
But now the teams will come with the planning thinking that okay, 170, 175, if you have a decent spin bowling attack, you can defend that.
Good pitch to play MI on then?
For sure, especially with their team not playing, the main team not playing, especially with Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah not there. If Bumrah was playing this game, it would have been a very different conversation we're having right now. Could have gone a lot closer. But at the end of the day, we all know that how important somebody like Bumrah and Hardik are to the setup. Hardik brings you so much balance with the bat, with the ball, and he's just priceless.
I mean, they bowled 14 overs of spin, but you think they don't have specialist death bowling options in the absence of Bumrah. If you just look at the resources available today, you have Deepak Chahar, Trent bowled. It's not like Surya had a banker. Hardik normally bowls at least one, if not more, at the death.
Well, Hardik bowl one. If Bumrah, whenever he'll come back, he'll bowl two. So still 2 overs you have to think of. And we all know, like somebody like Deepak Chahar, who's good with the new ball, and the template which he has bowled when he was playing for CSK, he used to bowl 3 to 4 overs up front. He never bowled in the slog. So they'll have to think about it going forward, because when you come to Wankhede, it will be a different challenge for the death bowlers.
Let's spend some time on the two wrist spinners. That's the story of the day. We didn't see this to be the theme of the opening CSK MI game. Noor Ahmed gets 4. Vignesh Puttur gets 3. What does that sort of tell us? And it's not often we see two left-arm wrist spinners in action and dominating in the same game.
Well, if you see both of them, the areas which they have hit, because in Chennai, you know, the boundaries are big. If you land the ball in the right area and give those revs, so you'll get definitely something out of the surface, and that's what we have seen. If when Shivam Dubey got out, before that he bowled a wrong one to him and he got beaten by all and up, although he was lucky he didn't got bowled, but next ball again it was slow in the air. So when the ball is slow in the air, it's difficult for batter to generate that power. So Edos will agree with that. If it's slow, so then you have to generate the power, and if you'll little bit here and there on your bat, it's going to go to the field, and that's what exactly happened.
You think about the way that the modern batsmen go about attacking the spinners, and mostly from the crease.
Yeah.
Like Rachin Ravindra was possibly the only person that actually came down and met the ball. You know, getting energy and momentum through their feet, and that then transfers into the ball. So by slowing it down, as soon as you see someone anchored at the crease, you've got a free license to bowl wherever you want. The only thing is, Klaasen and these guys now are so good at anchoring back at the ball, but still somehow managing to transfer power into the ball. But not on this wicket. It's slightly different. So many times I'd come down and just feel like you're not quite at the ball in Chennai. It's that type of wicket, and certainly if you're back, you think, oh, I can take on that boundary, and inevitably you're
eyeing the horizontal
10,
boundary.
15 runs short, any side.
Right.
Anyway, if you're just sitting back, it's very hard to get through the ball.
All right. This shows also why teams scout aggressively for left-arm wrist spinners, even if they're undercooked. I saw him at the Kerala Cricket League. I was surprised he got an IPL gig because he looked very, very undercooked, raw. They've probably worked on him, and working it with an MI setup is very different from a state league setup.
I think that's a good point touched upon. They've worked on him because teams like CSK, MI, Rajasthan Royals, they do a lot of work behind the scenes on their players. They actually call in for camps really early, which is great, because and that's why they have titles to their name, because you just can't call players just 1 week before a tournament and expect them to be ready, especially the young guys like this. I'm sure they put in a lot of work. I know Robin Mins, for example, they've put in a lot of work with Robin Mins throughout the season, in between the season, before the IPL starts. So that's why they win titles.
Will they call you to work on Vignesh Puthur, do you think?
Oh, well,
Or will they call you to replace him? I don't think they're calling you to replace
no,
him
it's
now.
not about replacing him, and he's a youngster. He's got a great future in front of him, and as he'll grow a little older, he'll get that power. So the speed which he's not getting, he'll get more revs on the ball and little bit quicker in the air. So he'll become even more dangerous because he has got a beautiful action. And the best thing is, if you see his wrong one as well, it was turning big.
Yeah.
So he was really good at it.
Yeah. Would CSK still look at this game and sense that's not our most polished performance with losing too many wickets and sort of dragging that game to the last over?
I guess the question is, why were they losing wickets? Was it a case of just trying to finish the game? In that case, you go, okay, it's probably a fair enough reason. We all bang on about net run rate when it comes to the end of the tournament. Why not start right from the get-go? It was a little rusty, I felt.
Yeah.
Their batting was just solid, just okay.
With 4 of 6 to get, can we just sort of talk about Mitchell Santner to Rachin Ravindra's good shot, isn't it? If he miscues that, and that goes straight up.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the best matchup. They play for the same country. A left arm spinner to a set left hand batsman.
Who would you have gone? You would have gone a pacer.
They could have gone for a pacer, but end of the day, the match is pretty much done. I mean, it would require a Herculean effort. They might have called in Jasprit Bumrah's ghost to bowl that over. but yeah, I mean, 4 of 6, that's pretty much game done.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Great
shot,
quick
great
feet.
shot, yeah.
Set play.
Set play.
It's just the matchup. They were done and dusted by that stage.
Okay, now let's pick up the energy. I can imagine it's been a long day, and that kind of game, it had us sort of just waiting for it to get over the line, and it went to the last over. But your questions always energize us, so let's bring them on. Come on, let's go. Manu wants to know if Rachin rescued MSD and Jadeja. Manu, go home. That's not happening. No, Dhoni just made sure the game didn't fall apart.
He just gave people value for their
Yeah,
money.
that's the story.
Just a few extra moments of him in the middle. Crowd is really happy. They go home, they sleep well. We saw Dhoni tonight, so they're all happy.
Excellent defensive shot.
All right, Chebo crowd would have got their money's worth. This is a very interesting one. I know how you're trying to put it. I'll put it slightly better than that. But was Tripathi sent perhaps as a matchup against Chair and Bolt? He's put Tripathi was a night watchman against Chair and Bolt. Maybe Gaikwad comes in at 3 because of an unfavourable matchup.
No, I
CSK
don't think
don't
so.
believe in that.
Yeah, no. They would definitely have some logic behind that. Obviously, what fans see and what we see is just from the outside. There's a lot of work which goes on into the lead up to the tournament. Coaches assess how players are at and they slot in players accordingly. So I'm sure CSK have a plan there.
Okay, Devang Sharma. I don't understand how an Indian captain who has so much experience like Surya on a pitch where there's spin doesn't give that last over to Vignesh earlier. Trent Bolt bowling that over that conceded 10. He saved Vignesh for too late. Anyone agree with that?
Well, it was literally run a ball needed at that time when
Just a little more, but pretty under control chase.
just a one boundary game because one boundary and you will be like it will become a run ball. So as a captain you feel okay, Trent Bolt, most experienced bowler, just get him if he pick up a wicket, so maybe put more pressure on the batters and then you get a guy who has not many people seen and get a new batter out. So that would be the plan as well.
He also bowled Will Jacks in 7th over. I'm just trying to look at Surya's use of lots of spin today. The 7th over was expensive. Gaikwad was on strike and took him down. Not necessarily the best day in the office for Surya, I think.
I mean, when you have that many runs on the board, when you're
Right.
20-25 short, you're just trying to somehow get a wicket, try a few combinations, because there wasn't much in it for the seamers as well. So he was trying to marshal his troops as best as he can.
Yeah.
But end of the day, if you have a good total on the board, then you can actually be more consistent with your captaincy as well.
Ayush Pillai has a good one here. Why was Rohit Sharma the choice for impact sub out? Wouldn't keeping him on the field have helped the Mumbai Indians more? They're missing their captain, they're missing Bumrah.
No,
Rohit
but I
on
mean,
the field.
You have a captain for a reason. He's got to lead the team.
Well, that
So
is the
there's-
Indian captain now.
Yeah, there's
So-
no point of having a namesake captain, So Surya's, he's he's experienced. He knows what he's doing. I don't think he really needs a guiding hand at this point in his career, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he was impact sub last year, but I think that was also down to
He was not well.
injury.
That's why,
You were there, yeah.
But I think our fans have just got to, Mumbai Indian fans have got to just,
chill.
I don't know, they've just got to shape up to the fact that they were 30, 40 runs, maybe even too short.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly, 20 runs too short. Even just 20 runs would have made it a really
Big difference.
interesting game. I mean, whether Rohit Sharma, he can chill. That's his role. He's not captain. He can do all that stuff from the sideline as well. You have plenty of time to come in, to send different messages.
I'd argue if it's a simple thing as you pick your best fielders. Maybe that's why you just picked the team you did. There were times that Rohit and Tilak and Surya also were subbed out last year. They're good fielders.
Yeah.
So it could have been something as simple as that. All right. Abhishek Kumar wants to know if Matthew Hayden's ever going to get into coaching. Well, your stint with Pakistan was memorable, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you, look, honestly, there's no better place as a cricketer, former cricketer, than getting inside the ring. And to shape and influence a young mind and a young talent is something special for us to be able to give back to the game. But it's also great to narrate the game as well, and to be in situations like we are now and discussing the different options. So I'm blessed, really, as we all are, to still be participating in the game.
Okay, he's actually corrected that question. He's saying, is Haydos ever going to coach the Indian team? No, same answer.
Chennai Super Kings?
All right. What else do we have? This is good, Akshat Jain. I feel Rachin could have a breakout here this season. He has the game for it, and I can't believe that he was retained or he was picked up for just 2 crore. I think they used the RTM on him. Rachin.
I think Rachin has broken out. He's.
Well, I'm saying I guess his question is whether he could have had more of a bidding war at the auction.
For sure, 100%. I mean, that's a great great value for somebody like Rachin Ravindra. We saw the class. His class in the Champions Trophy, he's bringing that same class on here, and the way he plays is like a really established one of like almost like a Virat Kohli style of play. He doesn't really go ahead of the situation. He stays within what's needed, and that's something which is really commendable about him.
What's scary is he's still a baby.
Yeah.
He's such a great talent.
Yeah.
He's an all-round player. He's a wonderful player of spin. Obviously can handle all the heavy stuff up at the front end as well. It's an exciting future.
This kind of innings is the kind that would now validate him if they made a call over Devon Conway and if Conway was fit. This is the kind of innings where you feel good, right? That we probably made the right call today. I would have been tempted to play Conway.
Yeah, I would have thought so. His record was excellent, wasn't it? Yeah.
All right. This from the Hub. What time of games do the panel like? High scoring ones like in the afternoon or a slow game like this? Haydos, the batter.
Look, I think a batting heavy game is a good game. But I've got to say, just purely from the strategy point of view, it's excellent to have a dirty, filthy little run chase.
Yeah.
Somewhere where you've got to dig in to each other, tap into the talents of the group and the resources of the group. So it was nice to see this victory today for CSK. They had to work really hard for it. Mumbai Indians weren't prepared to just give it up, which was also a good sign for them.
Also, I feel a scrappy win like this at the start of the season is really good for teams sometimes, because sometimes when you just have easy win after easy win, you never really have a reality check, and you never really put things in order. So sometimes that's good to start off with a win like this. A win's a win at the end of the day.
So you don't mind the big game, the high scoring game, scrappy win occasionally, but from a viewing point of view, I prefer the
big
520 runs.
Sure.
Viewers want that only. Nobody comes to see how you're getting a wicket.
Oh, sorry, Piyush.
Everyone comes here to watch fours and sixes.
I've said
But
this
that's where I can see the great bowlers, stand out from the not so great bowlers. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
and
just think
there's always a saying, very old saying, everyone has said that many times, batters win you the games, bowler win you the
Tournaments.
Championships.
wheel out the bowling machine, I say.
Oh, man.
Sorry, fellas. I know, I don't agree with that at all. It's great to see bowlers in the game always.
Couple of good ones before we wrap things up. Hanmeet, Quran, in my opinion, MI could actually do without Will Jackson, the 11. When Hardik's back, why not go with Mujib?
Well, that's another good choice, but depends where you're playing, because when you go to Mumbai, there will be not that much assistance for the spinners like you saw in this on this wicket.
Yeah.
So if you get Mujib in, then you have Mitchell Santner there, and Vignesh has bowled well, so you don't want to leave him out, especially for a young kid who has bowled so well. So when Hardik Pandya comes in, you can still, I feel, if you are running short on a dead bowling department, you can think of Reece Topley.
Topley and Bolt in the same
Yeah,
team.
because he is somebody who can bowl in the later stage of the game as well.
It's interesting whether they can change the balance up. They have such a good Indian batting. Once Hardik's back, they'll feel better about it. But could they go the other way, or do you see them sticking with Rickleton and Jacks and Bolt and one and Santner for now?
I think they might go to Topley at some stage,
Right.
if not the next match, because if Bumrah's not there, they're going to need somebody to slide in those Yorkers at the death, especially at the Wankhede, because really small boundaries, especially those 45-degree angle boundaries, those country boundaries are really small. So you want somebody who can nail the Yorkers at the end.
Varun's going to be roasted if RCB fans see him comparing Rachin Ravindra with Kohli. Did you do that?
No.
I probably did.
You said Kohli-esque innings, but Kohli has chase.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Good.
Pay attention, all of you. Why am I reading your question? I should pay attention. All right. What else? Well, Vignesh is 24, you point out, and he's not a kid. But yeah, 24 is still young when you're
Yeah,
playing your
very
first IPL game.
True.
I believe he's not even played much selection
class
cricket or first class cricket.
He's a kid in the IPL, let's say that.
Yeah.
All right. That is pretty much it. There was one that I liked earlier. Yeah, the Rune saying, do CSK's middle order still lack a little bit of firepower? Tripathi, Deepak Hooda, and if Dubey doesn't have a big season. He did
Well-
taper off towards the end of last season.
Well, I'll say yes. So that could probably the reason that Rituraj coming at number 3, because he wants to anchor the inning from one end, and we know what he's capable of. He can go, get you those quick runs, and that to a long innings. And Hooda, it's okay, like he's a good player, but last few seasons, if you see, Hooda has not done anything special.
Yep.
And not even those big innings from 70, 80. He's just there, like he plays spin well and the reputation is there, but still he has to deliver. And then Tripathi also is somebody who get runs for you, but he's not very consistent. Shivam Dubey, yes, I agree that what he has done last year, if he can replicate the same this year as well, so that will be a big thing for CSK. So I think yes, they need a little bit of firepower in middle.
Right. Why don't we bank the rest of those questions? Thank you so much for sending them in. Please keep them coming on our post shows, and I will put as many as I can to the panel. But it's been a long day, so let's finish it off with a rapid fire. You know how the drill works, folks. So let's get cracking. Piyush, you first. What stood out the most in Noor Ahmed's spell?
I think the good thing about was he never left those good areas. He just kept changing the line, but the length was perfect today. That's why he got those wickets. And the batters he got out, it was not that they're trying to slog him. He actually got them beaten by the pace and the spin. So that was really good to see.
All right. Varun Aaron, how do you rate Vignesh Puttur's 3 for on IPL debut?
Brilliant. It just shows what young blood can bring to the game. When you're young and new to the stage, you don't hesitate in taking risks, flighting the ball up, and I'm really glad it brought him dividends, because that's the way he should try and work his game through. The whole IPL is getting wickets is key. If you don't get wickets, then you're going to be stuck somewhere or the other.
All right. Hedos, what was the most impressive aspect of Rachin Ravindra's knock?
Just his timing around his run chase. There wasn't any pressure, being a below par score. The loss of those wickets held him into a position where he was able just to pace it at the back end. Solid, just a really solid performance.
All right. Varun, back to you. Were you surprised to see Tripathi open ahead of Gaikwad?
Yes, I was surprised. I would back Rituraj to open. We all know how good opening partnerships can just take the game away from the opposition. Great example was today's first game with the Sunrisers. I think you should always have a solid opening partnership at the start of the game.
All right. Piyush, was holding Vignesh Puttur's last over for too late a wrong call?
Well, I don't think so. It was a wrong call. There was a reason behind it. As I mentioned, that you want to get back to your experienced bowler to pick up that maybe one wicket to break that partnership, and then get someone like Vignesh, which people has not seen much, and for a new batter is not going to be that easy. So I think it wasn't a wrong call at all.
And finally to you, Hedos. Are we back to the days of spin to win at the Chepauk?
Could be. I think that'll be a definite plan for CSK. It's a fortress 70% of the time they win with that kind of mentality. So I would suspect if you're travelling to Chopok, you got that to look forward to.
All right. And on that note, thank you very much. Piyush, Chawla, Varun, Matthew Hayden. Always a pleasure having you out. I think you're back with us tomorrow,
Back in
Haydos.
business
And
tomorrow.
I think Piyush is as well. Varun, take a well-deserved
Breather.
day off.
Even I need a well-deserved day off, but it's okay.
It's spin it to win it.
Okay.
I need a spinner every day.
Done.
We need Raidu back and you have to be with him.
Right on the red couch.
Raidu was red couch, returning from the checkout. Right, look forward to your company tomorrow. Delhi and LSG, we've seen 6 teams in action on the opening weekend. We'll see the KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant swap tomorrow. Rahul, of course, we're not quite sure if he's going to play tomorrow's game. ESPN Cricket Info will have you covered for the very latest in build-up, and we will be with you for our pre-show on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout tomorrow. Good night.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.